hairy little waist.
That's sure upset. He's got that monkey biting all 4 sets of fingernails.
Well, he'll be out of her hair and bananas directly.
How come?
Your pa's setting Jethro up in business.
Oh, fooling. What kind of business?
I don't know yet. He and Jethro's out front right now, talking heart to stomach.
Sit down, I'll tell you what I want to talk about.
But you can't just wait till after Vittles. I'm starving. I ain't had nothing to eat since breakfast but a few bananas.
Wait, boy, this is important. Jethro, the time has come in life when you and I ought to sit down and discuss...
Uncle Jed, you ain't gonna lecture me about the birds and the bees, are you? I'm a sophisticated international playboy. I know all about that stuff.
Well, what I had in mind...
Forget it, Uncle Jed. You can't tell me nothing about the facts of life.
Well, that's comforting.
Yeah, I'm what you call a swinger. For instance, you know how I used to think that babies come from under cabbage leaves?
Yeah, I remember.
Well, they don't.
They don't.
No. That's just a story they tell little kids. How they really get here is where the birds and the bees come in. You see, there's this great big bird called a stork. Don't stop me now. At your age, you ought to be hearing this. Anyways, this stork swoops down and picks the babies up by the diapers and then slides them off the end of their beaks down folks' chimneys.
They do.
But that's the bird's part. I ain't quite figured out where the bees fit in.
Jethro, I sat down here wanting to talk about you going into the business world. Now, I ain't even sure you ought to be let out of the house.
Couldn't we save this talk till after Vittles? There's a smell of perfume in the air. Granny's cooking chicken fried fatback.
Oh, I know you're hungry, but it's time you was starting to find your way toward your life's goal.
Don't worry, Uncle Jed. I can smell my way to the kitchen.
Knowing how Jethro eats hot rolls, this don't seem to be enough for 4 of us.
Them is for you and me and your pa. Jethro's rolls is in the oven. Wow! I used to spend all morning baking 3 dozen rolls for Jethro. Then he come up with the idea of only making 2. Bite-sized.
Wish I had a 6th grade education. Now, he must be what you call an intellectual.
Just hope he makes a good businessman.
Well, he told me when you're as smart as he is, you're to the world to teach.
He don't know what he wants to be. One day it's a Supreme Court justice, the next day it's a soda jerk.
Well, he gets him notions from them comic books he's always a-reading.
Well, as of today, there ain't gonna be no more of that. He is through leading the life of a scholar.
My very own business, huh?
That's right. Just decide what you want to be.
Well, let's see. I've always had a bent for brain surgeon. Uncle Jed, couldn't we talk about this some other time when I ain't starving?
There ain't that much time in life, boy. Concentrate. Look inside yourself. What do you see?
Nothing. I'm as empty as last year's bird's nest.
Jethro, you're choosing your life's work once and for all. Now, get food off your mind for a minute.
All right, Uncle Jed. I got food off my mind, and I done decided on my life's calling.
Good.
I'm gonna be a fry cook.
Fry cook?
Yeah, in my own restaurant. Oh, please, Uncle Jed. You gotta admit, ain't many folks know more about food than me.
Well, I grant you, there ain't many of them as et more of us.
I hope you two are through with your talk. 'Cause, Vittles is, ready! Well, these ways he ain't a finicky eater.
Be easier on that door if he was. That's the 3rd set of hinges he's going through this week.
Just hope my pots and pans hold out till he starts to work.
Well, it'll be pretty soon now. He wants to open a restaurant.
You mean serve victuals for money?
Oh, you ought to do all right, as long as he can stay ahead of his biggest competitor.
What's that?
His stomach.
Speaking of that, we better hurry out to the kitchen whilst there's still some food left. Come on, Jim.
Sure was scrumptious, Granny. Good-sized portions for a change. But what are you all gonna eat?
You mean Ellie left you in there with all the victuals?
Yes, ma'am.
There goes your dinner, Jed. I suppose you cleaned off the whole table.
No, ma'am.
You mean you left something?
The dirty dishes. The dishwashing's your job, Granny. You ain't gonna catch me doing woman's work.
I'll catch you up by the head. Jed, don't waste another minute. Find that boy a restaurant.
I'm going to talk to Mr. Drysdale.
And do me a favor. Start looking out around Kansas City.
Granny!
Howdy, Miss Jane, Mr. Drysdale. How you feeling?
Don't ask.
You're looking awful poorly. I'm gonna fetch you up a great big dollop of catfish liver oil.
No, Granny, absolutely not. May I just have a glass of water?
You betcha, right away. Back in a jiffy.
Mr. Clampett, you wanted to talk about buying a restaurant for Jethro?
Yeah, but if you ain't feeling good, I can handle it myself. We ain't planning to spend that much money.
Really?
Oh, shucks, no. I'm $200,000 at the outside. Might have that much on me. Where's Granny?
Mr. Clampett, you shouldn't be carrying around that much money in your pocket.
Well, I tried putting it in my boot, but it made me walk lopsided.
Mr. Clampett, you stand to lose your entire investment buying a business for that big Jethro.
Well, I got it to lose. Besides, he's more or less got to be his own boss. I don't know anybody else that hire him.
I know of a slightly less expensive venture that Jethro would excel in.
Yeah, what's that?
Well, it's a profession that's crying out for new faces. He'd be self-employed, outdoors a lot, and wear a fancy uniform.
That sounds like something he'd like.
He'd be a wonderful organ grinder.
Oh, I don't know. He ain't never showed a whole heap of interest in the field.
Well, it's much cheaper than starting a restaurant, and you already have the monkey.
I hear that. Bessie ain't gonna work with Jethro less than he's on the leash, and she cranks the organ.
Forget it, Ellie. Granny ain't gonna want him hanging around street corners all day nohow.
Besides, he says he's gonna be a fry cook.
I know. Have him to come down.
Yes, sir, Pop.
I'm sorry I took so long. I couldn't find a glass.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That put the blood back in your cheeks. Forced a little into your eyeballs, too.
There was supposed to be water in here.
There is. Drop or two, but it's mostly rheumatism medicine. Well, you said I could keep a little around the house for medicinal purposes.
How much do you call a little?
No more than a gallon or two.
Miss Jane is looking for you. Now you go find her and then get rid of all that rheumatism medicine.
Just her and me? Why, 2 gallons is enough for a whole barn dam.
Hey! Take a look at what Fry Cook does. The apron was my own idea.
Jethro, you really ought to try grinding a hurdy-gurdy.
Oh, don't worry, Mr. Drysdale. When I get my restaurant, I was going to make every kind of unusual sandwich there is. A hurdy-gurdy, peanut butter and jelly.
The boy's got his heart set on cooking, sort of combining business and pleasure.
Well, I'll see what eating establishments are currently for sale.
I was going to make mine world famous. Next to my cooking, Granny's is going to taste like day-old sawdust.
Glad to see you got a hat big enough to take care of your swelled head.
I'm sorry, Uncle Jed. Kind of got carried away by my fancy uniform.
I couldn't find Granny anywhere. Oh, why, Jethro, you look as though you just stepped off a can of corned beef hash.
Shucks, Miss Jane, thank you. Like they say, clothes makes the fry cook.
Come on, Miss Hathaway, we're buying a restaurant for Jethro. Goodbye, Mr. Clampett.
Bye.
May I have a sip of your water?
Of course not. You're driving.
I'll take the glass. Oh, and I thought of a name for my restaurant. I'm going to call it the Happy Gizzard. Bye, Miss Jane. Mr. Drysdale. Uncle Jed, where's Granny and Ellie? I want to show them the new restaurant Mr. Drysdale got me.
I'll hurry him along. Where's the rest of your chef's outfit?
Got it in here. Didn't want to get it smudged.
Granny said she'd be right out. She had to bring something from the kitchen. Here she comes, son.
Granny, where are you going with all that stuff? Mr. Drysdale said my restaurant was fully equipped. Besides, even if it wasn't, He said it's right at Restaurant Row. I sure don't want to show up there with a bunch of beat-up old junk like that.
All right, let's go. But when you are in desperate need of a buzzard egg cooker, don't come crawling to me.
Granny, Mr. Drysdale said the restaurant already has everything they need. Besides, in a city the size of Beverly Hills, they almost got to have a buzzard egg cooker.
Everything but a cook.
That's me. I'm a first-class, full-fledged fry cook.
Cook. Ha! The one time you tried to fritter the chicken, you left the feathers on it.
Yeah, Granny. As I recall, them feathers was the tastiest part of the meal.
That ain't gonna happen again, because I got me the biggest, fattest cookbook I could find.
Yeah, and I've been looking at you, big dog, and it's all rotten French.
Of course it is, stupid. All the great cooks of the world is French.
Damn it, now you're going too far. I'm sorry I clobbered you, Jethro. You're part of my family, and I love you. From now on, I'm going to protect you from pain and see that nothing hurts you.
Oh, come on, Granny, will you knock off the mush?
I'll knock you down.
Look, what's the matter? Maybe that's your restaurant, Jethro.
Wow, I bet it is. Oh, that ain't it. My number's 1836.
Yonder might be it.
Oh, that ain't it neither.
There's a beauty.
Oh, that ain't it.
How about that one?
No, I'm gonna pull down this side street and turn around. Hey, will you take a look at that dump? I've seen better-looking chicken coops.
Boy.
That place wouldn't make decent-looking firewood.
Boy, that's your restaurant.
I bet it's plumb elegant inside.
They've seen it. They're coming back. Please tell Jethro you made a mistake, that you'll find him something better.
Are you kidding? How many restaurants in this town rent for $35 a month?
Howdy, Miss Jane, Mr. Drysdale.
Come in. Oh, I know you're gonna love this place. I'm just nuts about it.
That explains it. A body would have to have a bend in the brain to buy this dump.
Hurt his feelings.
This place has got everything. Oh, electric light, running water, there's even a griddle. Look at this, it's all ready to go.
It is?
Yeah, there's almost half an inch of grease on it.
All right, Jethro, the rest is up to you. You've got a beautiful little spot here, loaded with atmosphere. Goodbye, Mr. Clampett, Granny. Oh, no need to thank me. It's been my pleasure. Bye-bye.
Don't say nothing to Jethro, but this place ain't worth no $200,000.
Beverly Hills property comes high, but it does seem for that kind of money, they ought to throw it in glass for the window.
Probably that newfangled air conditioning that folks out here's always bragging about.
Boy, Paul, this restaurant sure had a strange sounding name before. Look at this sign I found outside.
By now, Jethro ought to have his restaurant all stocked up and open for business.
Yeah, it didn't take long cleaning it with all of us pitching in.
I bet your Granny's happy not having him here for meals no more. What's for supper, Granny?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I forgot how to fix for 3 people. I'm used to having just...
Yeah, you get used to it again.
I don't even want to. There's no challenge.
What you mean, Granny?
Well, with Jethro here, every mealtime was a kind of a test for myself. To see if I could cook enough to fill that bottomless pit of his. I never made it. But it was always something to shoot for. I miss him, Jed. I miss him setting up to the table and wolfing down his dinner in 30 seconds flat.
He was fast, all right. Fastest I ever seen.
I miss the sound of them big white teeth of his gnashing together, grinding up bones and gristle, anything. Didn't matter.
I liked it best when he had corn on the cob.
Ain't often you meet a fella who eats at cobs and all.
What I'd give to see his knife and fork clanking together again, the sparks flying and every whatever direction.
He did bring excitement to mealtime.
Didn't matter how you cooked things, raw or burnt to a crisp. Was all the same to him.
I believe I can say about Jethro Bodine, he never met a meal he didn't like.
Let's go see him, Jed.
Yeah, Pa.
Well, he's got the truck, and it's pretty near 10 miles down to his restaurant.
Short walk is good for the circulation. Come on.
I wanted him to go it alone for a spell, but I'm beginning to miss him myself.
I'll just get a few things together in case he needs them.
Well, now, let's stay out of his way. He's probably got his hands full taking care of paying customers.
Gee whiz, where is everybody? 4 hours without a customer. What could I have done wrong? Got the location, a snappy name, new glass in the windows, plenty of victuals, hot griddle. How can they stay away? Hot dog, my first customer. Hi, and welcome to the Happy Gizzard, also known as the Chitlin Club.
I'd like to use a telephone.
Have you a reservation?
Huh?
Oh, that's all right. I'm the owner. I think I can find you a stool. Right here, and get ready for some good eating.
Look, Duncan Hines, I just want to use your telephone.
Oh, okay, but first you got to order something.
I'm not hungry.
Wait till you see the menu. What do you say now?
Like a sixth grader did it.
Thank you. But the menus is only the beginning. I can cook anything, strange or exotic. The sky's the limit. How about a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich?
Okay, I'll have one of those.
Coming up. See, I got me a French cookbook. Wouldn't you just as soon have a hamburger?
Okay, a hamburger.
Gotcha. My griddle's all hot. What would you like on that, beautiful? I wouldn't laugh. There's a lot of danger in this line of work. That's the third time I've done that today. My hand ought to be medium rare by now.
Hey, look, where's your phone?
Oh, hold on. I'll get your hamburger. Have a glass of water while you're waiting. I gotta find something small enough to plug up the pipe.
How about your brain?
I got it, a carrot. Oh, one burger coming up. Let's see, I need onion. Where are the onions? The onions. There the rascals are. I'll get them.
Hey, genius, watch where you're stepping.
Don't worry, ma'am. I'm as sure-footed as a mountain goat.
Doggone, my best fare. My soul's done been fried to a crisp. Didn't do my foot a whole lot of good neither. You wait right there now. I'm gonna get them rascals. I'm missing 4 of my onions.
And all of your marbles. I'm getting out of here.
Oh, wait. You can make your phone call now, and I'll cook your hamburger for you when you're finished.
All right. Where is the phone?
Get on the truck.
Truck! I want to use your phone.
You can, but I gotta drive you up to my Uncle Jed's. I ain't got one here.
Oh! Forget it.
Gone.
What's the glass doing on the floor?
My windows got broke, and so did my spirit. Streetcar conducting's looking good to me right now.
Now, take it easy. Everybody has to fall a time or two before they take the first step. I will grant you, you appear to have stumbled more than most.
I don't even feel like cooking for nobody now. I don't even feel like eating.
That is serious. It's a good thing we decided to happen by.
Hi, Granny, Ellie.
We were just in the neighborhood, and we decided to look in on you.
He walked all the way down here, wouldn't let us help her carry a thing.
What are you doing with all that?
Mecca for the world's most glamorous appetites. Close by this thoroughfare, another restaurant has recently opened, making its bid for culinary stardom. The Happy Gizzard. The Happy Gizzard.
Dinner time! Come and get it! Dad, Ellie Mae, Jethro, Vittles is ready. If Dave's gets cold, I'm going to get hot. Where's Jethro? He's late for Vittles.
Don't blow your flue, Granny. He's out trying to scare up some business.
You couldn't scare anybody into this place with a brace of shotguns.
Mr. Drysdale said it takes a little while for a restaurant to get popular.
Popular? I just wished he'd get his first customer.
Shouldn't be too much longer now. He's been open a week.
Maybe you should have set him up in some other kind of business, Jed.
Boy chose this one. Of course, maybe I shouldn't have asked him just before mealtime.
Well, I'm sure tired of cooking up a couple of tons of stuff on this menu and having no customers to eat it.
Howdy. Is lunch ready?
Yep, sit down.
That's a good thing about having a restaurant. You get to eat out a lot. What do we have?
The soup of the day for yesterday. 20 gallons of catfish and apricot gumbo.
Dog. I'm almost glad we ain't doing no business.
All right. You find out why.
Yeah. And it's so exciting, I can't even wait to finish eating to tell you.
What is it?
I said I can't wait to finish eating. I can't wait till I get started.
I can't. Start talking.
All right. You see, I've been driving around checking out the other restaurants. And the ones with the people lined up outside is all advertising the same thing.
What is it?
Topless waitresses.
What's a topless waitress?
You mean you don't know?
No, me neither.
You do, don't you, Uncle Jan?
Nope.
Well, if that don't sound like a bunch of backcountry apple knockers talking. Living here in Beverly Hills all this time, and you ain't even sophisticated enough to know what a topless waitress is?
Well, Mr. Hot Shot Man around town, what are they?
Well, I ain't sure. None of the places have let me in. Now, quit that, Ellie. They must have figured I was a competition. It's a good thing I got an education, sophistication, and Saver Berry to figure it out.
All right. What's a topless waitress?
There's only one thing it could be. As anybody knows that's been around as much as me, that all them waitresses wears them silly little hats. Now, the way I got it figured, all the waitresses that work in these topless places don't wear anything on their head. No hats or nets or nothing. How? Because they look better. See? Even Ellie looks almost pretty. I can hardly wait to get over and tell Mr. Drysdale I ain't even going to take the time to eat.
Do you think we ought to give this topless business a try, Jed?
Might as well. No telling what city folks like. Sure can't lose him no customer.
All right. I think we're ready to receive our potential new depositors now. Welcome, beloved Mr. and Mrs. Vanderpont.
I wish you would start thinking about Jethro and forget the Vanderponts for a moment.
Forget a possible $20 million account. It's no Clampett fortune, but it's not exactly petty cash either.
But what about Jethro? Trying to make a go of that dilapidated diner you saddled him with.
Don't blame me. He wanted a business of his own. All I did was give it to him.
Oh, you gave him the business, all right. After what you've done, I don't know how you managed to get to sleep at night.
Very simple. I count money. The difference between renting that diner for Jethro at $35 a month or buying a restaurant for $200,000 like Mr. Clampett wanted to do.
Good old Mr. Drysdale. Heart of solid gold. Cold and hard.
Mr. Vanderpont? Mrs. Vanderpont?
Gee,
Oh, they're here. Hail, Mr. and Mrs. Vanderpont. My bank is yours. Where's the Vanderponts?
they're not here yet.
You mean I just blew $2 with a rose petal?
I must talk to you about Jethro.
You'll have to wait. I have other fish to fry. And here they are now, Mr. and Mrs. Vanderpont. Come in, you lovely people.
Mr. Drysdale,
I'll get right to the point. We are looking for a financial institution whose clientele is of the very highest social caliber. Leaders of society, aristocracy, etc.
You have found it. Champagne Countess Hathaway?
When our money talks, we want it speaking to only the best people.
This is a bank for you. Oh, I wish you could meet some of our distinguished depositors.
I've heard that, but my Uncle Jed ain't here. Will I do? Yeah, I just got here. I knew you'd want to hear the good news. Our restaurant, the Happy Gizzard, is going topless. I know why y'all are staring. Forgot to introduce myself. My name's Jethro Bodine. My Uncle Jed's the biggest depositor in the bank. Ain't he, Mr. Drysdale?
Thank you, Mr. Drysdale. You certainly do have an exclusive clientele. There can't be many more in Beverly Hills like that.
Well, thank you. I didn't get your name. I'd sure like to have you stop by my restaurant sometime.
Jethro, I can hardly believe my ears. Does your Uncle Jed know about this topless business?
Sure. He says it's all the same to him, if the waitresses don't care.
You'd better talk to Mr. Drysdale.
I better come back later. He ain't feeling well.
Yes, he probably is a little sick now.
He must have a thunderclap or a headache. He's got ice pack on his head.
$20 million account gone. A topless restaurant on my hands. This could drive a man to philanthropy.
I just thought of a new dish that might bring customers in here. I'll take my owl burgers, add a little pickled Rudy Bakers, and call them Rudy Burgers.
Oh, Granny! Boy, this topless sign worked in how? The minute I got out to the road, it stored a bigger fuss than a firecracker in a hen house.
What happened?
Well, the cars in the truck started jamming on their brakes, and folks started whistling. I run back here before they all smashed into one another.
Oh, Scooby-Doo, there you are, you cute little tomato. I blew a head gasket over you.
Don't you get fresh at me, you big wolf.
Granny, you're making a mistake.
No, I ain't. I know his type, spouting and all that love poetry, dress fit to kill.
Excuse Granny, mister. She's kind of excited about tonight. Can I offer you some refreshments on the house?
Oh, all right, I'll have some jolly.
Son, we ain't got none of that. How about a cup of coffee instead?
Well, let's forget it, huh? I gotta be going anyways. It's just that I saw Blondie there with that sign. Tell me, is this really a topless place?
It will be tonight.
Oh, great. I gotta make the midnight run to Fresno. How about saving me that stool for around 11 o'clock, huh?
All right, and maybe by that time we'll find a Java to cook for you.
Well, it's not the food I'm interested in as much as the service. The waitresses, if you get what I mean.
I sure do, and you're in luck. At 11, Granny has the duty.
The little old lady.
We're all pitching in to help my nephew. He's having a little trouble making a go of this place. That's the reason we're trying a topless waitress.
Well, let me give you a little tip. You'd better have somebody ready to replace Grandma there.
Thanks, we do.
Oh, good.
If she gets tired, I'm taking over.
Well, lots of luck. And if sheer courage can do it, you got it made. Otherwise, you're in big trouble.
What did he tear out of here like that for?
I don't know. He said he had a midnight run to Fresno. Could be he wants to get his legs warmed up.
Was that rascal trying to get out of here without paying his bill? His truck pretty near killed me.
Oh, did you tell Mr. Drysdale about the topless?
Oh, yeah. He got so excited, he got a log splitter of a headache.
Folks just can't take good news.
I'll give you some medicine to take over to him, Jed. I'd go myself, but I can't leave my post here.
What are you giving me?
Some of my surefire headache remedy.
Hey, that is rheumatism medicine. Corn squeezing.
Well, if you drink enough, it'll stop your headache.
If you drink enough, it'll stop your breathing.
Well, it's even safe for city folks if they follow the prescription.
What prescription?
3 fingers of remedy in a glass, add water, ice cubes, twist the lemon and sip your head off.
My dear Mr. and Mrs. Vanderport, you can't know how happy I am that you've reconsidered.
How could we refuse when you threw yourself right in front of our car in the middle of Sunset Boulevard?
Well, actually, that was one of my clerks. But it was my hand that pushed him.
Really?
But he's being rewarded. I'm letting him go home early tonight.
In any case, I suppose we should meet Mr. Clampett, your largest depositor, before we eliminate your bank as a possibility.
Oh, thank you. Oh, do let me take care of your money for you. I'll treat it as my very own. I'll take it out every day and play with it. We'll take long walks together. I'll be more than just its banker. I'll be its pal.
And I must say, your love for money borders on the psychotic.
Oh, thank you, gracious lady.
Yeah, we're late for an appointment at the Merchant's Bank. We'll let you know which bank we choose, Mr. Drysdale.
Have dinner with me tonight before you make a decision.
All right, if you release my wrist. You're bending my bracelet. Perhaps then we can meet Mr. Clampett.
Well, I think he might be in Europe. But take my word for it, he's not like his nephew. But Jethro's a bit... all that inbreeding. Royalty, you know. But Mr. Clampett, he's every inch a multimillionaire. Tall, broad-shouldered, silver-haired, with just a trace of an accent.
Howdy. I bring you a headache remedy.
There's something I forgot to mention. Jed Clampett is also a world-famous physician. Eccentric, but a fantastically brilliant doctor.
I must talk to him. I've been to 100 specialists seeking a cure for my migraines.
How are you, Mr. Drysdale? I hear you're feeling lower than a well-digger's heel.
Oh, how good of you to come, and all the way from Europe. Huh? But I'm feeling wonderful now.
Oh, well, good. Then I won't bother to leave this headache remedy.
Oh, I want you to meet Mr. and Mrs. Vanderpont.
Well, howdy.
How do you do?
How are you?
Well, now that you ask. I've got a little pain right here.
And I haven't been sleeping well, and my liver is not what it should be. Then, too, I've always been bothered with migraines.
Well, it's a pleasure to know you so well so soon.
Well, as long as Mr. Drysdale doesn't need it, do you mind if I take along your headache remedy?
Well, I don't know about that.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Clampett. We'll see you at 7:30, Mr. Drysdale.
Oh, but man, I ain't no doc. Be sure and follow directions on the...
I want to thank you again, Miss Jane, for coming over and clearing us up on that topless business.
Thanks, Miss Jane.
Now, you'll tell Ellie right away, won't you?
Oh, I'll tell her as soon as I can. She ought to be ready to hear it in about 3 or 4 years.
I can't understand how come my giant brain come up with the wrong answer.
That's all right, darling.
Even computers make mistakes.
Yeah, geniuses, too. Thomas Edison goofed a few times before he invented the airplane.
Well, Thomas Edison made the first light bulb.
See? That's what I mean about goofing. Imagine coming up with a light bulb when he's trying for an airplane.
But now we must think of a new way to make the Happy Gizzard a success. For example, I definitely feel we should change the name.
You're right. It ought to be something that makes you hungry the minute you hear it. Like the boiled mule.
The Happy Gizzard isn't bad.
What one of the problems is, the food we serve.
What?
Granny Jethro was referring to the menu. After all, Beverly Hills is a very cosmopolitan city. And look at this. Southern fried muskrat. Stuffed groundhog. Corned beaver and cabbage.
That's right, Miss Jane. You see, in a city this size, well, you can get victuals like that at almost any restaurant in town. What my place needs is something different. Like, making it French-like. Hey, I'm serving fancy French food, like French fries and tacos and chop suey.
You should do some research first.
Oh, I intend to.
Well, good. And remember, Romanovs wasn't built in a day.
Thanks, Granny, for not being mad at me for that topless waitress notion. There's something to laugh at now, ain't it? Yeah. What are you doing with the skillet? Cook me some middle? You ain't laughing, Granny. Granny!
You hear that funny clang, kind of faint like?
No.
I reckon I better skedaddle back to the restaurant.
Well, I'm sure everything will be all right.
Too bad about Jethro. He was all a tingle over the grand opening tonight.
I wish there was something I could do.
Well, there is. You can bring the missus and come over to the restaurant for supper.
Oh, that's impossible. Margaret's in Boston, and besides, I'm taking the Vanderpunts to dinner tonight. It means a big new account for the bank.
Well, I understand. Got to do it up brown, huh?
Yes, sir.
Well, bring him along.
What?
We'll kill him with kindness. Put on a big spread.
Mr. Clampett, you don't mean...
No trouble. The place ain't exactly swamped with customers, you know.
I can't. The Vanderpunts...
Well, I'd consider it a big favor on my account if you would.
Your account, yes, but...
Now, don't race your engine. Yes, sir, will be pleasure, no end. Now, don't disappoint us. Granny's cooking up something special.
Yeah, my goose.
Okay, everybody, get ready. Mr. Drysdale's limousine just pulled in. Now, remember, Uncle Chet, you promised to let me handle this all by myself.
I'll wait out back. You holler if you need me.
I know what to do. Heck, practically every movie I've seen had a French restaurant in it.
You remember that these Vanderpont folks is very important to Mr. Drysdale. I want them sure the evening they won't forget it.
Don't worry. That Mrs. Vanderpont is crazy about yours truly. Heck, just finding me here will be a big thrill to her.
I'm all ready, Jethro.
Good. Now, remember your French accent. Chef Pierre, are you ready?
Jethro, I've decided I ain't gonna be no man.
Oh, come on, Granny. They'll be here any minute. All French restaurants has got men chefs.
I told you I'd do the cooking, and I did. Wearing a mustache is something else. Besides, it's getting all soggy. Fell into the soup kettle twice already.
Oh, please, Granny, just for tonight.
Well...
All right, now you just get out of sight till I introduce you.
Oh, it's here again.
Smelling sauce. I told you, she's just overpowering fond of me. Welcome to the Happy Gizzard. How do you like my accent? It's atrocious. No, it's French.
Let's say hi to the seat, Coach.
Can't you see they ain't wearing none, you dumb old girl?
If you're going to talk that way, I quit.
Come on, Jethro, get this over with. See us. What is the name, please?
Drysdale.
Let me see. How do you spell that?
After the night, M-U-D.
Oui. Here it is. The best table in the house.
Oh, let go of me. Oh, I feel faint.
Just my hand on your arm done it to you, huh? You are tough with me.
Oh, you ludicrous buffoon.
Well, I'm right fond of you, too. But enough of this flattery. I want you to meet the chef that's responsible for the taste treat that's in store for you tonight. Doggone, I forgot my French accent. It is my pleasure to present the greatest French cook in the whole world, Chef Pierre. Chef Pierre. Granny!
Quit your hollering.
What's that you got on your lip?
The mustache.
What happened to the one that I gave you?
Told you it was all soup-soaked. The dog out back snatched it out of my hands and run off with it.
Hey, that looks like part of a vegetable brush.
That's what it is.
Oh, Granny.
I got a whole meal cooked for them folks. Better not let them out of here before they eat it.
Hey, wait. You can't leave yet. Hey, Granny's been cooking all afternoon. Hey, take a look at the menu I planned for you.
What? Vichyssoise, bœuf bourgogne, pomme au gratin, pâte Suzette. We ought to try it. Granny's an excellent cook.
Well, I am starving.
Here it is, digging.
But this isn't bœuf bourgogne and pomme au gratin. It's...
Grits and hog job.
Grits and hog joust? Granny, you said you was going to cook French food.
This is better. I ain't serving company things like snails and frog legs.
I'm getting out of here.
Sit down, Pearly May. I'm having second.
George, how many times have I told you never to talk in public?
Too many. Now hush your face. I ain't stunk my choppers, and grits and jowls is good as 3 left sorghum ribs.
You mountain folks?
Darn tootin'. We live so far back in the hills, the sun set betwixt our place and town.
You're supposed to be leaders of society.
Yeah, once I got filthy rich with uranium, Pearly May started to talkin' fancy, getting high-tone notions. I think what done it was putting on her first pair of shoes. Well, Mrs. Vanderpunt.
Donna sure had me fooled. Just a couple of hill folks like us.
They ain't hill folks. They lived in the Gulf.
Granny, don't be such a snob.
Oh, shucks, I don't care. I was just glad that Jethro got some paying customers. At least now he's in the restaurant business.
Hey, guess what? I'm out of the restaurant business.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, Mr. Vanderbilt made me an offer on a Happy Gizzard. Said he always wanted to eat a place like mine.
How much?
Well, $1,000 if Granny does the cooking. $100 if she don't.
I hope I know what you answered him. Feeling poorly. He's 2 months behind in his sleeping.
What you mean?
Bears is supposed to curl up and snooze all winter. But in this crazy California, it's summer all winter.
Poor little mixed-up fella.
Here it is January, and look outside. What do you see? The sun is shining, the birds are singing, the flowers is blooming. It's enough to make a body sick.
Sure don't have no seasons here.
Just two, wet and dry. You've either got mud or dust.
New calendar for you, Granny.
Is that all I got?
Yes, ma'am. All the rest of the mail's for me.
What is it, Granny?
The First National Bank of Bug Tussle. Fred James, president. That's Jesse's grandson.
Jesse James's grandson was president of a bank?
Yeah. It's a good thing Jesse never lived to see that. Ellie, look at this beautiful snow.
Sure is pretty. There ain't nothing prettier than them big white flakes a floating down.
I used to say that was Mother Goose shaking out her feather bed.
Remember how the windows used to get all icy?
That was Jack Frost painting his pictures. They's a great pair, Jack Frost and Mother Goose.
And remember how we used to scoop up a pan of snow and put vanilla and sugar in it and make ice cream?
Oh, Ellie Mae, you're making me so homesick, I can't stand it.
What's everybody doing inside on a beautiful day like this?
You call this beautiful?
Look out there. Sun is shining, the birds are singing, flowers are blooming.
Please, Jed, you're turning my stomach.
How'd you like to be back home with all that snow and ice?
How soon can we leave?
You mean you want to be back there?
We all do. We was just sitting here talking about how much we'd all like to go back home to the snow. Ain't that right, young'uns?
Yes, sir, Granny.
Ain't that right, Jethro?
Huh? Well, what?
When are you going to learn to pay attention? He's having a family talk.
What about?
About how much we'd all like to go back home to the snow.
Not me.
Who asked you?
Oh, you said...
Now, stop butting in when they ain't needed. He wants to go, Jed.
No, I don't, Uncle Jed. Look at all these business opportunities that come in the mail. I'm going to be rich in no time.
What is all this, boy?
Offers for jobs. I can sell blueing house to house. Or open a worm farm. There's a fortune to be made in red wigglers. And here's another. Grow mushrooms in your own basement. Here's an offer to be a Western distributor for an Eastern buggy whip company.
Jethro, get this clutter out of my kitchen. This table is for victuals.
Good. How soon do we eat?
I may never eat again. This California weather has took my appetite.
Well, it ain't took mine. I'm starving.
Jed.
But, Granny...
Go eat some smog.
You may have just solved one of the biggest problems out here, Granny. If he can trap that stuff on a plate, he might just get rid of it.
No mood for a joke, Jed. I'm homesick for snow so bad that I could jump in a hole and pull the hole in after. What
is all this sudden hankering you got for snow? You used to hate it.
Me?
Why, the first little frost you used to say it was so cold the wolves was eating the sheep just for the wool.
I never said that. This sun out here has fried your brain, just like it's ruined my beautiful hair.
The sun ruined it?
Bleached it gray. Why, back home it was as black as a raven's wing. Washed in snow water, kept it soft as milkweed.
Granny, you melted snow to wash your hair because that's the only way you could get water. The well was froze, the trough, the pond, the creek, everything. Why, you even melted snow to wash the clothes.
And they came out so purty.
Yeah, and froze so stiff you had to carry them in like cordwood.
That was wonderful. Didn't even have to starch them.
All right, I give up. If you say you love snow, you love snow. Nothing will do but what you gotta go back and get your toes frostbitten. Oh, Mr. Drydale? This is Judge Clampett.
Oh, yes, Mr. Clampett. What can I do for you?
Well, nothing for me, thank you, but Granny'd like to go back home to the hill. Well, seems she got this calendar from the First National Bank of Bug Tussle, and, hello? Hello? Mr. Drysdale? You still there?
Yes, I'm still here. Let me talk to Granny. Listen, Granny, you don't want to go home now. It's probably snowing back there. But just look out the window. The sun is shining, the birds are singing, the flowers are blooming.
I can't stand it another day. I've got to have snow. Now you get me back home.
Listen to reason. For the last time, I'm telling you this crazy scheme will never work.
Will you swear to that?
This crazy scheme will never work.
No, I mean swear that this is the last time you'll tell me. Now, just remember, this tape recorder is a radio. And while Granny's listening to the special weather report, you turn the air conditioning system down as low as it'll go.
They'll freeze tonight.
What do you expect with 3 feet of snow?
Well, come in. Come in.
Thank you, Granny.
Did you bring my tickets to Bug Tussle?
Yes, Granny, but I hope you're packed. You'll have to leave within 15 minutes.
How come?
All travel has been canceled because of the big blizzard.
What blizzard?
You mean you haven't heard? Oh, of course not. I forgot. You don't have a shortwave radio. You see, news about emergencies is always broadcast on a special wavelength so the population doesn't panic. Now, just a few civic leaders have these. Mayors, councilmen, bank presidents.
Oh.
Miss Hathaway, will you turn the furnace control up as high as it can go? We don't want the Clampetts to freeze in their sleep tonight.
Freeze? In Beverly Hills?
Quickly, quickly.
Attention, all civic leaders. Repeating the special weather bulletin. A blizzard is moving into Beverly Hills. 3 feet of snow is predicted with drifts reaching as high as 6 to 8 feet.
We're gonna be snowbound.
The storm is expected to center around Crestview Drive.
That's our street.
If you live in that area, do not leave your homes. Hungry wolves have been seen coming down out of the hills.
That's a sure sign of a blizzard.
All set, Chief.
Good. Let's get out of here before the snow starts and the wolves pin us down.
Yeah, and hurry. Thank you for the warning, Mr. Civic Leader.
Oh, I probably saved your life.
What's the matter, Miss Jane?
Well, the cold weather always aggravates her rheumatism.
Oh, I'll fetch him a jug.
No thanks, Granny. We barely have time to make it to the rent-a-sled agency.
Excuse me, Chief. Mr. Chapman's calling from the movie studio. He wants to talk to you before you send those snow machines up to the Clampett mansion.
Okay.
Chief, before you take this last crazy step in this mad scheme of yours, will you stop and think what can happen if something goes wrong?
That's your problem.
Why mine?
Because if it goes wrong, I'll blame the whole thing on you. Hello, Larry. Yes, of course I want the best quality snow. This is Beverly Hills. 3 feet will cost how much? No, look, I want plastic, not platinum. All right, make it 3 inches. Yeah. Now, we'll keep them inside the house with wind machines and wool. Yes, I want a wolf outside every door. No, Larry, not your nephew. I want the kind of wolf with big teeth, pointy ears, long hair. Larry, I don't care if he does still qualify. I want the kind of wolf that howls. Larry, 4-footed wolves. Now, you get up there after dark because the Clampetts go to bed early. All right, goodbye. Now, You did set the air conditioning up as cold as it'll go?
Yes, and I hate myself for doing it. They don't even know they've got air conditioning. They'll freeze tonight.
No, they won't. At the crucial moment, we will mush to their rescue.
Me? Mush?
Don't you want to share in the glory?
No.
You want me to fight the wind and snow alone?
Yes.
Okay, I'll do it. All you have to do is fight the wolves.
Wait for me, Pop.
Can't you sleep neither, Ellie?
No, sir. My room is like an ice block.
Mine, too. I wonder, can we turn the furnace up any hotter?
I don't think so. When I was putting my critters down in the cellar, them big old machines was just going full blast.
Gotta give Granny credit. She sure called to turn on this weather.
Of course I did. I know this cold spell was coming. I seen all the signs.
Wish you'd said something sooner, Granny. Jethro and me could have laid in a little firewood.
Well, I'll go fetch some.
No, Ellie. A hungry wolf would get you.
Granny, there ain't no wolves in Beverly.
That ain't no whippoorwill.
That doggies there's a wolf out there. Big rascal, too.
They always come down out of the hills when the cold wind blows.
There ain't no cold wind a blowing.
What you call that?
That ain't no whippoorwill.
There's no everything.
You sure hit this blizzard on the nose.
Well, that ain't where it's hitting me. Let's get to the kitchen.
Yeah, let's warm up some of that possum stew we had for supper.
Oh, I got lots of victuals, kid. I got ham and turkey and pork chops.
I'll go wake Jethro.
Oh, he's up, Ellie. Come through here about 15 or 20 minutes ago, headed for the kitchen. Uh-oh.
Quick, maybe we can salvage something.
It's too late. He's already asleep in it all.
Buzzard boy has struck.
He didn't even leave no gristle. A locust would starve around that boy.
What's that on his mouth?
He's at the fingers out of his gloves.
And we's gonna be snowbound with him?
Guess we better sleep in a circle like partridges. That way nobody will have their back to him.
Here. Only thing he didn't get was a little old sausage.
Must have left it for seed.
I want to try something. I knowed it. I always knowed it. He eats in his sleep.
Yeah, his stomach might doze off, but that's a 24-hour mouth. Ed Clampett speaking. Oh, hello, Mr. Drysdale. Well, he ain't doing so good. Jethro's had all the victuals, and with him inside and the wolves outside, we is twixt a rock and a hard place. Well, that's mighty brave of you, but all right. I sure do thank you. Mr. Drysdale says he's fetching over some victuals and nothing can stop him.
Mush! Mush! On King! On Pierre! On White Band!
What's that, Muglock? You crack that whip one more time, and I am going to give you a neckful of white fangs.
Always one complainer in the pack. You're wearing 3 layers of fur.
That's another thing. It's 85 degrees out here.
Wait till we get inside. It should be down to 30 in there.
Now, don't forget our deal.
You have my word. You help me put this over, and you'll be rolling in dough.
Chief, there's a wolf.
Oh, relax. Stop.
But I see others out there.
They're all stuffed.
What about the house?
Sound effect record. Okay, boys, start the wind machine. Now, you go inside and tell the Clampetts I'm fighting a rear guard action against the wolves. I'll make my entrance in a minute.
I brought you supplies, Granny.
Where's Mr. Drysdale?
He's out fighting off the wolf pack.
There's a bunch of them out there, all right. When that door opened, I could feel their hot breath.
Hey, woman, Miss Jean, where's Mr. Drysdale?
Fighting off the wolves.
I'll go help him.
Have no fear. Milburn of the Mountains is here. There you are, Granny. Everything you'll need to get you through the blizzard. There's canned meat, powdered milk, chocolate bars.
Milburn of the Mounties, you have saved our lives.
Well, don't forget my faithful Indian companion, White Fang.
I didn't know you was an Indian.
Yes, I am temporarily a member of the famous northern tribe that always helps the Mounties.
Yes, she's a schnook.
That's Chinook.
Can I put these in the fireplace?
Oh, yes, of course.
We's out of firewood, and I've never been so cold in my whole life.
Now, don't worry, Granny. By tomorrow morning, the blizzard will be over.
Good. These Beverly Hills winters is short, but days killers.
Just how do you plan to get rid of the plastic snow?
The studio has machines for that.
I hope they send a snowplow in the morning so we can get out of here.
Oh, no, Granny. Snowplows are for peasants. Here in Beverly Hills, they vacuum the snow.
Wouldn't you know it?
Now, you turn in and leave everything to us.
Yes, Mr. Clampetts already gone up to bed.
No, ma'am, Miss Jean. I just went up to get into my clothes so I could fetch in some firewood.
No, Jed. Have you forgotten about the hungry wolves out there?
Well, I figure if these two city folks got past them, I sure can.
Well, you see, we got through because wolves are frightened of Indians.
Indians?
Yeah, Jed. It turns out that Miss Jane is a schnook.
That's, Chinook.
Well, anyway, I wouldn't risk going outside. Those wolves are vicious. They'll tear you to pieces. They'll... Oh, no.
Hi, everybody. Look here.
Ellie, don't bring that man-eating varmint in here. He's vicious. He'll tear us to pieces.
No, he won't, Granny. I've been watching him, and he ain't moved for better than an hour. Felt sorry for him, so I fetched him in.
Shall I warm up the getaway sled?
No wonder he ain't moved. It's so cold, the poor devil froze stiff in mid-howl.
You think he's through?
Of course. Look at them glassy eyes.
You're right, Granny, but we sure can't let him thaw out in here. I'll get rid of him.
Mr. Drysdale, let me take a look at that critter. Hey, this wolf is stuffed.
With who? Who ain't here? Jethro! He done it, my baby!
Don't worry, Mr. Clampett. He didn't eat Jethro.
Mr. Drysdale, what's going on around here?
What do you mean?
Stuffed critters, snow that don't melt.
That's wolf dandruff. It's very contagious. I'll take him out and get rid of him.
Mr. Drysdale, you want to tell me?
Well, I might as well admit it. This whole visit's a phony. The snow is plastic, the wolf's stuffed, the wind comes from a machine. The whole thing was dreamed up to keep Granny from going back to the hills, and it's my fault.
Gee.
I never should have let her talk me into it.
You mean, this whole thing was Miss Jane's idea?
100%. She dreamed up the whole idea.
Jane? That's about the nicest thing I ever heard tell of.
Huh?
Going to all that trouble just to make Granny happy. Thank you.
Now, wait a minute. It wasn't all her idea.
Oh, that's true, Mr. Clampett. It was his idea to turn the air conditioning down so it would be cold in the house.
The only part I didn't like.
Welcome to the tribe, Schnook.
That's Chinook.
The problem now is to keep Granny from finding out she's been fooled.
Well, one thing is sure, we can't let her go outside. It's 85 out there.
I think I got it. Mr. Drysdale, you lay down on a sofa.
What?
If there's anything to keep Granny in a house, it's somebody needing her doctrine.
Where you been, Jethro?
Huh?
I say, where you been?
I'm getting me some snow. I'm gonna have me some snow ice cream.
Come on, it's so cold the wolves is freezing. Now you get to bed. You're burning up with a fever.
That ain't fever. It's hot outside.
The Thaw has set in. I'd best quick get me a pan of snow to wash my hair. How is it, Jethro?
Pretty good. That ain't very cold, but it's got more body than snow back home.
Well, let me taste it.
No, you go get your own snow.
I'll bring you some, Ellie.
Wait a minute, Granny, where are you going?
Out to get some snow to melt from my hair.
I'll do that. You better take care of Mr. Drysdale. He's laying in the parlor awful sick.
What seems to be the trouble?
Oh, sore throat, fever. He needs you bad.
Poor man, he got that from helping us. I'll need this, Jethro.
What for?
Snow ice cream is the best thing in the world for fever and sore throat. How's that, Mr. Drysdale?
It's kind of chewy, but not bad. What is it?
That's snow ice cream.
Snow ice cream? You mean the kind that's falling outside?
That's right. Nice and fresh. Swallow it, Mr. Drysdale.
Let's get out of here!
Wait! I'll make you some more. Just bring it in another pan. I never did see snow ice cream work so fast.
Quick, grab those traces and get me to a hospital.
Just a minute, Chief. When do I start rolling in dough?
The first thing tomorrow morning.
Is that a promise?
You'll be knee-deep in the stuff. I repossessed a bakery.
Oh, that Charlie. Push! On Pierre! On King! On Doughboy! Push!
Watch it, white fang!
A blizzard sure brings out the brotherhood in man. What a sight. A royal Mountie pulling a schnook.